Title: Universe of Champions 1. Year 2024. Type: Activity, Experience, Dream. Language: Hindi. Named: Chief Erdan Balug Ganbold. Stars: Delgerma, Amar Sakin, Sukhi Ariun Bayamba, Shinabayer, Basan Bu. Creation, Organization, Surprise, Express. Plot layout: Universe of Champions 1 is a legendary story set in the tremendous steppes of Focalasia during the 8th century BC. The story unfurls around 33 particular clans who should defeat their verifiable contentions to join against a strong and persistent foe, the Trespassers, inspired by insatiability and a desire for influence. Try to take advantage of the rich assets of the clan's holy terrains. This story follows the precursors of the Mongols, revealing insight into their excursion to turning into a power that would later overcome the well-explored parts of the planet. Full story and nitty-gritty account. The film opens with a stunning scene of the steppes, depicting the tranquil and agreeable existence of the clans that have called this land home for a really long time. These clans, however various in their traditions, customs, and lifestyles, share a profound, practically otherworldly association with their territory and precursors. This association is represented in their holy ceremonies, their tunes, and the narratives went down through ages. Be that as it may, this harmony is fiercely broken when a gathering of trespassers, outfitted with cutting-edge weapons and driven by a voracious insatiability for the land's secret riches, show up on the scene. The intruders, drove by a merciless commandant, referred to just as the victor, start their mission by contaminating holy destinations, removing significant minerals, and spreading dread among the clans. The divided clans. At first, the clans answer the intrusion with question and division. Every clan, glad for its independence and legacy, wonders whether or not to align with others, dreading disloyalty and loss of personality. This fracture plays directly under the control of the victor, who takes advantage of these divisions to debilitate the clans further. The development of a legend. In the midst of the disarray and sadness, a youthful, however charming pioneer named Badr rises out of the positions of a more modest clan. Badr, whose name signifies legend in Mongolian, has a dream of solidarity that rises above the unimportant contentions and verifiable complaints that have kept the clans separated for such a long time. He comprehends that through solidarity, could the clans at any point desire to repulse the intruders and secure their future. The social event of partners. Badr's excursion to join the clans is loaded with difficulties. He first looks for the help of his own clan's older folks, who have some doubts of his excellent vision. Nonetheless, Badr's energy and assurance before long win them over. With their approval, he sets out on a dangerous excursion across the steppes to fashion partnerships with different clans. Badr is joined by two close partners, Dilgerma, a furious champion who has lost her family to the intruders, and Sukhi, an insightful planner, known so that his capacity might be able to see through the chaos of all-consuming conflict and devise splendid strategies. Together, they visit every clan, arguing their case and encouraging solidarity. The clan's conflicts under the surface. The clans they visit are not handily influenced. Every clan's chief presents novel difficulties to Badr and his mates. Some are glad and insubordinate, declining to bow to any alliance that could undermine their power. Others are unfortunate, having previously experienced extraordinary misfortunes on account of the trespassers. There are snapshots of unfairness, where Badr's gathering is almost deceived, and snapshots of significant knowledge, where antiquated predictions and dreams appear to direct their way. The defining moment. A progression of decimating assaults by the intruders goes about as an impetus, pushing the clans nearer to solidarity. The trespassers, developing bolder and more forceful, start to consume towns and subjugate those they catch. The sheer ruthlessness of these demonstrations powers the clans to reevaluate their position. Gradually, clan by clan, Badr's alliance starts to come to fruition. The preparation and arrangement. When joined together, the clans should plan for the unavoidable conflict with the intruders. This arrangement includes serious instructional courses where heroes from various clans should figure out how to battle as one. The film dives profoundly into this cycle, displaying the underlying question. In competitions that take steps to crash the alliance, notwithstanding, under the direction of Sukhi, who devises creative techniques that integrate the qualities of every clan. The fighters, step by step, start to trust each other. Dilgerma, with her unparalleled expertise in battle, turns into a tutor to a considerable lot of the more youthful champions, showing them the craft of war and the significance of battling with honor. The last fight. The peak of the film is an enormous, fastidiously arranged fight on the steppes. The unified clans, however, dwarfed and outgunned, utilize their personal information on the territory and their aggregate solidarity outsmart the intruders. The fight is portrayed with a mix of fierce authenticity and incredible glory, featuring the penances and chivalry of the heroes. In the core of the fight, Badr stands up to the winner in an emotional one-on-one duel. This battle isn't simply an actual battle, however, an emblematic portrayal of the bigger struggle among mistreatment and opportunity. Badr, drawing on the strength of his precursors and the solidarity of the clans, at last loses the champion, flagging the finish of the intrusion. The fallout and heritage. The film finishes up with a powerful scene of the enduring clans standing together, ignoring the tremendous, presently serene steppes. Badr, injured, however, victorious, addresses the collected clans, talking about the significance of solidarity and the need to safeguard their legacy. His words resound profoundly, as the clans vow to keep up with their solidarity and give the examples of this contention to people in the future. This triumph, while huge, is depicted as only the start. The last scenes propose that this solidarity will prepare for the ascent of a strong domain, hinting the future triumphs of the Mongols under the initiative of Genghis Khan. Key topics investigated in the film: solidarity and aggregate strength. The focal subject of Universe of Champions 1, the force of solidarity. The film depicts how a separated group, once brought together, can beat even the most impressive of foes. This topic is investigated through the collaborations between the clans, the self-improvement of Badr as a pioneer, and the inevitable victory of the unified powers. Personality and legacy. The film puts critical accentuation on the significance of social legacy and personality. Every clan's extraordinary practices and customs are depicted with incredible regard, and the film proposes that it is these social distinctions that, when joined together, make a considerable power. The characters' association with their progenitors and their territory fills in as a strong inspiration. All through the story, struggle and penance. The account is rich with struggle, both inner and outside. The clans should defeat their verifiable complaints and question to join together, while individual characters face individual evil spirits and make huge penances for everyone's benefit. Dilgerma's storyline, specifically, features the subject of penance, as she defies the injury of losing her family, while proceeding to battle for a purpose bigger than herself. History and legend. Universe of Champions 1 mixes verifiable occasions with components of imagination, making a story that is both epic and, well, Established in the social fantasies of the Mongolian steppes, the film investigates how fantasies and legends can impact history, and how the tales of the past can rouse present activities. The presence of old predictions and profound direction, all through the movie, highlights this subject. Cinematography and enhanced visualizations. The cinematography in Universe of Champions 1 is one of its champion highlights. The film makes the most of the immense, open scenes of the steppes, utilizing wide shots to underscore the confinement and magnificence of the setting. The variety range is overwhelmed by gritty tones, with rich greens and browns that mirror the regular habitat of focal Asia. The fight scenes are arranged with an emphasis on authenticity and power. The utilization of common sense impacts, joined with CGI, makes an instinctive encounter for the crowd, making the savagery of the contention tangible. The special visualizations are especially powerful in portraying the size of the fights, with clearing shots that catch the full extent of the ancestral powers, conflicting with the trespassers. Acting execution. The exhibitions by the lead entertainers are convincing and sincerely resounding. Dilgerma Emirsakin, as Dilgerma, conveys a strong exhibition that catches the internal conflict of a hero, battling with misfortune and the craving for retribution. Sukhi Ariunbiamba's depiction of Sukhi is areas of strength for similarly. The film with a person whose insight and vital brain are urgent to the progress of the ancestral alliance. Shinabayer Basanbu as Batur encapsulates the original legend, showing both actual ability and a profound feeling of obligation to his kin. His excursion from an ancestral champion to a bringing together pioneer is depicted with subtlety, making his personality's curve one of the most captivating parts of the film. Pacing and story construction. The film keeps a reasonable speed, with the early pieces of the story committed to world building and character improvement. The center of the film s down somewhat as it investigates the intricacies of joining the clans, diving into the relational elements and the obstructions that Batur and his friends face. This more slow speed takes into account further close-to-home commitment. However, it could feel really long to certain watchers who favor steady activity. Nonetheless, the pacing gets extensively as the account moves towards the last, a showdown. The steady development to the climactic fight guarantees that the crowd remains put resources into the result, with the pressure and stakes plainly heightening as the clans plan for their point of no return against the intruders. The film's story structure is straight, yet blended with flashbacks that give foundation on the characters and their inspirations. These flashbacks are utilized sparingly and successfully, advancing the story without upsetting the vitally account stream. Soundtrack and sound plan. The soundtrack of Universe of Champions 1 is a strong supplement to the film's incredible degree. It joins customary Mongolian instruments, for example, the Morin Kor horsehead fiddle and throat singing, with present-day symphonic components. This combination makes a sound that is both old and immortal, entirely fitting the film's mix of history and dream. The utilization of music in key scenes improves the profound effect, whether it's the blending call to fight or the distressed tunes that go with snapshots of misfortune. The audio effects are fastidiously created, especially during the fight scenes, where the conflict of weapons, the thunder of war cries, and the beating of hooves make a vivid encounter. Hindi naming. The Hindi naming of Universe of Champions 1 is finished with incredible consideration, guaranteeing that the first exhibition's close-to-home weight is held. The voice entertainers prevail with regards to catching the subtleties of the characters, making the film open to a more extensive crowd without losing its social embodiment. The discourse conveyance is smooth, with cautious consideration paid to the tone and affectation, which keeps up with the film's epic and serious tone. Generally impression, Universe of Champions 1 stands apart as a convincing and outwardly shocking, verifiable epic with a bit of imagination. The film succeeds in rejuvenating the tough magnificence of the focal Asian steppes, the intricacy of ancestral legislative issues, and the persistent assurance of a group battling for their endurance and character, while the film makes them pace issues, especially in the center segments. These are minor contrasted with its general assets. The solid exhibitions by the cast, the rich topical substance, and the wonderful mixing of history and fantasy make Universe of Champions 1 a significant and drawing and realistic experience for enthusiasts of verifiable sagas, particularly those intrigued by the early history of the Mongol clans. This film offers a remarkable point of view and a strong story of solidarity and opposition, the mix of first-rate activity, profound person improvement, and that's what shocking visuals guarantees. Universe of Champions 1 will have an enduring impact on its crowd. And in rundown, Universe of Champions 1 is something beyond a film about fights and triumph. It is a tale about the force of solidarity, the significance of social character, and the penances expected to safeguard one's legacy. It handily joins these subjects with stunning areas of strength for visuals and a convincing story, making it a champion section in the class of verifiable dream. For watchers, this film offers an interesting and engaging experience, as well as a smart investigation of being a piece of an option that could be bigger than oneself, whether that is a clan, a culture, or a country, as the main portion in what might actually be a series. Universe of Champions 1 sets an exclusive requirement and welcome.